This is a piece of oak, and it's a very heavy lump of oak, as you can see. This was ordered by my mother because she wanted something to put above her fireplace, and they charged her a lot of money. She ordered it online. I didn't really take a lot of notice of what she was doing, which is my fault entirely, otherwise I would have said perhaps not. Anyway, it duly turned up, and Mark the builder, the bear, he's mounted it up there, and basically this is the finished product. Well, nearly finished because I've been playing around with it. Anyway, the sanding on this and the finish on it is, to be honest, poor. And the colouring, it's not been oiled or anything like that at all, and it's just pretty bland, to say the least. And running my hands over it, I realised obviously it's not been sanded properly. Now, this is one of my ultimate discoveries of 2018, last year, in my new educational period of time, in my semi-retirement. I discovered sanding wood is a critical part of the finishing process of any project you're making. I was quite enlightened to find out, actually, because generally speaking, if you go to your local store or you buy sandpaper, you'll be given the three options of fine, medium and coarse for general day-to-day purposes, which isn't really strictly accurate. Your fine coarse will probably start at around about sort of 240 going down to 180, maybe 120 at a push, 240 maybe. Your medium coarse will be around about 100 down to about 80, and then your coarse sandpaper will be down at 40 to 60 grit. But what people don't realise is that that's all well and good for like just a quick rub over or whatever, or a quick DIY decor job. But if you really want to work on a piece of wood and make it look phenomenal, you've really got to put some work into it. And I discovered that sandpapers actually go down to, have a look at my wall, right down to, well, I've got 3,000 grit sandpaper going right the way down to 40 or 60. So at a range all the way through. And I found, especially when you're working with resin and stuff like that, that the sandpaper or the sanding process is critical. You can then move on to, for the final finish, like a micro mesh pads. And as you can see, this one's 8,000, 12,000 grit, so that's your final sort of finish. 3,600 going down to 3,200, 1,500. Now, I have discovered that if you follow the sanding process through all the way, and you're patient, and you use all the different grits and work your way down to the 12,000, on pieces of wood that are, especially oak, hardwoods, won't work on softwoods, but hardwoods, you can actually get it so smooth that you can see a reflection in the wood, and that's before you've treated it with any oil or anything. So as this is such a poor piece of finishing, I've taken it off the mantelpiece and I'm going to go through the grits, and then we're going to oil it, and then we'll see what the results are at the end of it after we've done millions and millions of turns and spins with sandpaper and pads. So watch this space, and yeah. I've actually started off at 400 because it was reasonably smooth, so I've started off at 400, and we're just going to work our way through. So yeah, we'll see you at the end. We'll see what it looks like. 600, 600, 600. So we've now been down to, without 1,500 grit, I'm going to take it down to Going to give it a blast over with a 3000, and then I might use some micro mesh pads just to polish it off. But now, you probably can't see it on the camera, but I look down it now and it's actually starting to sort of get that glass-like top to it, or feel to it. And I can actually see now, you can't, but I look in there and I can actually see the reflection of my tools and all that on the wall over there on the actual wood itself. It's that smooth and that polished. So that's starting to come up really nice. So we're just going to finish it off with a bit of 3000, a bit of micro mesh, and then we'll have another look, and then hopefully we'll start get some oil on there and really ping the wood out, the colour of it, and the grain should really pop it out, and it should look lovely. So yeah, a bit more sanding and we're nearly there. Right, we're back with the oak. You'll also note that I've got a new hat, and it's very nice, and it's very warm because it's really cold, because it's January. Anyway, we give this coat of oil last night, a couple of coats of this boiled linseed oil, and now it's dried off. So you notice now that I'm touching the wood with my bare hands, and that's because I can. If you ever do any sort of really fine sanding work, especially on hardwoods or softwoods even, really, you really don't want to be handling the wood while you're sanding with your bare hands, because the moisture from your fingertips, believe it or not, will actually leave marks and black marks in the wood, and then you've got to sand it all over again. So don't do it. I always wear a pair of latex gloves when I'm sanding, unless I'm doing like taking off like a massive amount of surface. But generally, once I start doing the proper sanding, always put a pair of latex gloves on, so you don't mark the wood. So it's all nicely dried. It looks fantastic. I mean, you probably can't see it very well on the camera, so I'm going to try and get a picture to show how sort of nice and smooth and shiny it is. And then we're going to go and take it in and put it up on a mantelpiece and keep the old girl happy, because we don't want any eviction notices coming through, so we have to keep the old mother happy. So we'll put that back up, and hopefully happy days. Job finished, project done. Such an improvement on the original piece of wood, which, to be honest with you, was terrible, really. I don't know how they had the nerve to sell it, but they did. So, yes, happy days. Let's get stuck up on the wall then.